Welcome to Jules Voto's Photo Focus. I'm coming to you vertically today. This is the first time I ever made a vertical video, and this will probably be the last time. But the reason I'm doing this is when the Nikon Z6 III was introduced, I attended an online MPS webinar, Nikon Professional Services webinar, and it featured photographer Deborah Sandridge, and she had been using the Z6 III, and she's a wildlife photographer, and she showed some vertical videos she did for Instagram in slow motion and explained how she did that. But of course, the main thing of that webinar was about the new camera. And I saw those videos and I thought they were great. She has an Instagram account, Deb Sandridge, and look at it. It's great. Her images are great. And when I was in Biloxi, Mississippi recently, I tried to do something like that with pelicans. So that's what you're going to see. In no way are my videos even close to hers, but I was just experimenting with it. I wanted to see how it would work and if I can do it. And so I'm going to explain as we look at some of these slow motion videos of some of the images I shot in Biloxi. You're also going to see a couple running down the street and a US flag waving in the wind. So I'll explain a little bit about how I did that and thought some of you out there might be interested in doing this. And I'll also put a link to a gentleman who is really good at explaining how to do things like this in iMovie. So let's go look at some of these videos and I'll explain a lot more. Okay, so one thing I just want to clear up. I mispronounce Deb's name. It's Deborah Sandidge. Sandidge. So look for her Instagram, and I think you'll be very impressed with her images. So I shot these images, these videos, I should say, using my Z8 with a 70-200 2.8 Z zoom. And I shot some of these vertically and others horizontally and then cropped them in iMovie. So to learn how to do this in iMovie, I could try to explain it, but I think it's best if you go to the source that I went to learn how to do this and go to YouTube. It's Macvideomagic, and the gentleman's name is Michael Kinney, Kinney. He's excellent at explaining how to do these things in iMovie. Now, I also use Final Cut Pro, but this seemed to be a lot simpler in iMovie, so I just went to iMovie. And let me just say one other thing. I'm no expert in video. My history over the years has been in still photography from 1970 to the present day. I've only been doing videos a few years, mostly for YouTube. So I had the camera set for 2160 by 120p. That gave me an image size of 3840 by 2160. Again, shooting at 120 frames per second. When I shoot video, I always use manual exposure control, as I did here, and just adjust the exposure based on looking through the viewfinder, because the LCD wouldn't have worked well because it was a really bright day. These birds were mostly backlit, and I then, like I said, I cropped some vertically in iMovie. Others were shot vertically, and I just tried to keep the camera on the birds, obviously. I was not using a tripod. This was all done handheld with the in-body image stabilization turned on, and I think it worked out pretty good. Now, once you get your video into iMovie and set it up for vertical, and again, Michael Kinney will explain how to do that, you need to slow it down. And if you go to the upper portion of the screen at this clock icon there, and you have the option to set it for 10%, 25%, 50%, and I have these set for 25%. If you went to 10%, it would slow the video down even more. At 50%, it would go faster. So I played around with this a little bit and, just settled on 25%. And there are other ways to do this in iMovie, in whatever video software you were using. But again, I just felt that this was the simplest way to do it, the quickest way to do it. And it's not something I'm going to be doing a lot of. It's just that I was very impressed when I saw that webinar and wanted to give it a shot. And it would have been nice to do this with birds in flight. I think that would have looked cool. But of course, I wasn't lucky enough to get any of that on that particular day. These birds were, this was early in the morning. As you can see, they are backlit. They were grooming themselves, I guess, getting prepared for their day. A lot of times with these pelicans, they seem to be really lazy. They just stand there and look around, and every once in a while they'll go into the water and do some fishing. But in my experience, shooting them several times here in Biloxi, they were just basically sitting around. So this was nice this day when I went there with the intention of doing this. I had seen the video a few weeks before. I saw the webinar, that is, a few weeks before, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot and see what happens. And I really didn't know how I was going to, once I shot the video, I didn't know how I was going to edit it, but did a little bit of research and I found that Michael Kinney's YouTube channel, and he has a great video. Just search for find his YouTube channel and then search for vertical video, and it was very easy to understand. So I would like to again try this again with birds in flight or more colorful birds. Deb Sandage has some beautiful images, some beautiful videos of birds. I believe a lot of them were done in Florida. I think for the Nikon webinar, they did some up in New York. So I will be trying this again, and I have an Instagram account, but I rarely post to it. I concentrate on YouTube, but I think I'm going to be doing more on Instagram, and we'll be posting some of these vertical videos there. Now, I did record audio when I was recording these videos, but because it was recorded at a high frame rate like that, it was, when I played it back, it was very slow, so it was unusable. So I just detached it and discarded it, and it works okay for this because I'm speaking over it. But if I was going to record and use some of these for Instagram, some of these slow motion videos, I would probably either record some music or separately record some sounds of birds. So I, again, will be looking to do more of this and experimenting more with it. But, one of my primary reasons for doing this was just to put it out there because, maybe some of you don't know that this could be done. Maybe it's something you would like to try. And today, we just, as I always say, we have so many options, so many tools, and this is just another thing that we can do. And I started with film, went to digital, started doing some video recently, and it's a whole new thing. Back when I got started in photography, there was no video. People were shooting movie film, 8mm, and then Super 8. And it was something I never wanted to get into. And it was relatively expensive. it was just too inconvenient, and I really didn't have much interest in shooting movies. But now, of course, with digital DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, it makes shooting videos so much easier. So I will be experimenting more, but I probably won't be doing any more vertical videos for YouTube, just for Instagram. So, it's not just birds. I mean, you could shoot anything in slow motion. So, as I was walking back to the hotel, I noticed this couple coming towards me. So, I just started shooting. I was holding the camera vertically and then slowed this down. Again, shooting at 120 frames per second. So, I thought this was cool. So, there's many things you could shoot and in slow motion, and things are going to look different. And I could even see using this maybe in some of my YouTube videos to better explain something if it's being viewed slowly. So back to the pelicans, and we're coming to the end of this video. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I'd like to hear from you. Tell me what you think of this, what you think of this vertical videos and shooting in slow motion. And if any of you have done it, maybe you could offer me some suggestions what I could do better. So again, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I publish a new video every Monday morning and Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.